So after my experience in America, I have a few tips for you if you want to travel. So the very first thing we did before we traveled is got a card. It is an international card. So it's linked to your bank account. F&B has one. I'm not sure about other branches. So you can transfer from your one account into that account, and it's set according to US currency, pounds, wherever you want to travel. And the bonus of that card is when you sit in the international lounge waiting for your flight, you have free entry into that lounge. So you don't have to pay for the food. There is loads of food, coffee, drinks, anything you want. It's for free, and I think it's 11 entries, which is the odd amount. Maybe they want you to pay for that extra person if you go for that last time. So that is a very nice thing to have. And this is tips for when you in New York. So we traveled on a Thursday because the flights was the cheapest, which was actually quite a big mistake. We got there the Friday, and we didn't have any hotel booked. We thought, oh, it's not going to be that hard. There's so many hotels in New York and by Manhattan and stuff. And there was actually an issue. We were stuck on the airport. I don't know, like we didn't sleep for like 2 days. And it was quite expensive hotel, especially because the events of that weekend, we didn't check out the events. It's another tip. Check out what's happening there. There was the marathon, the Manhattan Marathon. There was the dance parade at Central Park, and there was a golf tournament. So most of the hotels and stuff was fully booked. So we ended up paying more than what we were supposed to. Then another tip is to stay in an Airbnb or stay in a hostel. The second night we stayed in a hostel because we actually didn't have anywhere to stay. It was late already. All the hotels were booked because of the events I mentioned. And the hostel let us sit there. They didn't have a spot for us. There was no rooms available. We phoned so many hotels. I think I'll not be exaggerating when I say more than 100 hotels. And eventually they said that there was a guy stuck in his room. He didn't pay for the room, and they don't know where he is. Hopefully he's okay. And we got that room for the price. I think it was like just under $100, which is expensive for us because of our currency, but not that bad. And we stayed in a hostel. And I would say, stay in a hostel. There's nothing wrong with staying in a hostel. It was actually really, not what I expected. It wasn't like dark, dingy rooms. It was actually really nice facilities. And then I would say, be careful with the yellow taxis. We did drive in a yellow taxi, but that was more for the experience. So if you want to do that for experience, take one from one block to 2 blocks down. It's not going to cost you that much. But what we learned, that we were told by other people, is they hear your accent, they hear you don't know where exactly you need to go. Like you say the place, but they kind of fish out, you don't know the route to that place. So they take you extra on a joyride, like an extra 10-minute joyride, which costs you money because it's a meter taxi. So I would always take an Uber, and Uber works out quite nice. You don't pay cash. They have no cash. You download the app, you say you put in your address that you want to go, and then you book the Uber. When the Uber, then your amount goes off your account, it's in the account, then the Uber gets there, and they take you to where you need to be. If the Uber can't find you or whatever reason you don't get your Uber, the money comes back into your account. So it's actually really safe, and you don't have to have cash on you, and it works out really well compared to here where it's cash payments. Then always have walking shoes, because what you're going to do in Manhattan, in the New York areas, you're going to walk. The first day we walked like 16 kilometers. The second day we walked like 10 kilometers. It's like you need to experience the city by walking, and it's super safe. Like here, I would not walk down the street here, and we in a safe area, but there I had to get used to that. It's so safe. And then do some research before you go. I found out before we went that the Natural History Museum was for free the last hour, and we went in the last hour and you got to see everything, and it was for free. And then another thing for free is the Staten Island Ferry, which just goes past the Statue of Liberty for free. So there's many things like that. Check out that before you go. And when we were in Times Square, something you must have, it's changed my life when it comes to pizza. At 99 cents pizza. There's many different ones down the road, and it's flipping awesome. It's the best pizza I've ever had. We used the subway to get from Queens, Jamaica, all the way to Manhattan. And we didn't check out the route. They said take the E train, which is like the East train, and you'll get to your route. Eventually, halfway, a New Yorker told us, where are you trying to go? And we explained to him, he says, okay, you're going downtown, you're not going to your destination, you're going to the opposite. And we thought, okay, that train is heading the way, and somehow got switched around. But the subway system is really great to use. So I would say do your research, stand by the board, download something, and plan your route, because it's really, I'm glad I experienced the subway, even though we were going the wrong way. We just got off after that and just walked, because the streets are numbered. You just want to get to the higher streets. Our place that we stayed in eventually was in 84th Street, and Times Square and stuff is in 120th Street. I might be mistaken, but that way. And we walked like 10 o'clock at night back from Times Square, about 40 streets back to our place. So it is safe. But one thing that we learned firsthand is be careful of the hustlers. There was a guy dressed up as a monk. Oh, that's really cool. And he came up to us in Central Park and he's like, here's a bracelet and here's a necklace. And we're like, okay. And he asked for donations, so we want to give him $5. He tells us no. We're like, well, it's not a set amount, you're asking for donation. And then he wants to take his stuff back, so then we want to take our money back. And he's like, no. And then he shows us the thing, it must give $40. So we were like, no, want our money back, we'll give your stuff back. And then eventually he took the $5 for the thing. So just be careful of those hustlers. Even worse than that, in Times Square, one of our friends that we made, a Russian girl, she got hustled by 3 guys. They make like they're recording artists and they're soon to be famous, and they give you a CD. I haven't even she gave it to me as a souvenir, and I haven't even checked out if there's actually music on there. And then they tell you like they also want a donation, so they also give like a $5 or so. And they told her no, not $5. And then like, do you have more money? And then eventually they got a $20 out of her, like. And then another guy comes to her and they're like, no, I'm the boss, you must give me more money. So they kind of intimidate you by wanting you to give them money. And it's just, be like a New Yorker and say no thank you. Through those experiences, we knew, we saw more people no thank you, they're going to try their luck. Then when we were on the airport, we actually got a SIM card. It was, I think, $80, and this SIM card you can use unlimited calls for the month. So you can call anywhere in America unlimited for free, and then you get 8 gigs data, which helped us quite a bit when we were out of Wi-Fi range. The data helped us navigate the streets in Central Park, because Central Park is huge, and at one time we were lost through the park, so that helped. And to call those hotels, like I said, it is a must. It's expensive at first, but it pays itself off. It's worth it. Then we went down Fifth Avenue, like the song. That was amazing. That's the day we walked like 10 kilometers, just looking at all the streets, all the shops, and you miss so much cathedrals there. It's so beautiful. Okay, here's some Vegas tips. Like I spoke about the Uber, which you pay for through your bank account. There's also, when you're in Las Vegas, there's so many hotels, and they can't just stop on the side of the road or at a random spot. There is Uber pickup zones. So basically, if you in the Bellagio, then the Uber pickup zone will be at the back of the hotel. You have to be there. It tells you on the app, meet me, so and so and so. If you're not there, then they're not going to pick you up. It's a must. It's the law in Las Vegas. Then the thing that you must go see, which is for free, is the Las Vegas sign. And get a player card. For every hotel that we went to, every casino we went to, we got a player's card. And with those player cards, you get free shows, entry into draws, credits to play on the machines, and it's a momentum. Like, it has your name on it, and it's a cool thing to bring back to remember those things. The only pity was, like, you get the MGN card, which covers like 10 different casinos, as well as the Caesars covers quite a few different casinos. So some of the places have the same card, so that was a bit of a sucky thing. Then for accommodation, I would say do Airbnb. We actually did a Craigslist accommodation, which the first night or two we were like, oh, we're gonna get murdered, like, but then we survived, and eventually we're like, okay, no, this looks like it's nothing will happen like that. And we had our own room, we had Netflix, we had Wi-Fi, they did our laundry for us, we had our own fridge to use, and every now and again we'll get like strawberries in the fridge for us, or they would give us protein bars with a laundry bag, like things like that, which were actually quite nice. But I would just rather say go for Airbnb, because we stayed off the strip, so every time we had to make our way back to the strip, it cost money. So I would do Airbnb on the strip, because rather than the hotels, because the hotels, they say one price online, and when you get there, they didn't tell you about the resort fees. The resort fees are actually more than the room cost per night. Say that the room costs $50, your resort fees will like be $60, and that you only know after you stay there. Or if you want to do a hotel, ask them before the time, what am I going to pay? Because you do resort fees and they do a service tax. So I would say, tell me exactly what my bill's going to be. Otherwise, just do Airbnb, it's easier. And then if you do stay off the strip, there is a very good bus service. But again, plan your route out. We took a bus from downtown Las Vegas. We wanted to get to the strip. We ended up in Clark County Jail. We ended up there. We were just like, what the hell? Like, what now? And then we just Uber. We like Uber. Make like we don't talk to each other, because like in here we're not from there. We just at that point we realized we're not good with the transport. But if you want to do it, it's like $5 for day pass, or if you stay in the extended month time, they do have weekly and monthly passes. So I would plan out your route, because for us, for the public transport, it was terrible. And then Fremont Street. Whenever we took an Uber, we were like, the drivers asked us, have you been to Fremont Street yet? It was like, no. Like all the time it was like Fremont. So eventually we decided to go to Fremont, and it is what they say the locals would go to. So it's a whole lot of small casinos, and these casinos don't look like these fancy casinos. It looks like little rundown casinos, but in the middle between the casinos is actually a street, and there is street performance from people playing violin and guitar and jazz, to a guy, you give him a tip and you position him, and he would say that like that until someone else pays to position him a different way. He was like, when we saw him, he was on his side with his legs up in the air, and when we walked back, he was still like that. And there's like taco trucks, and there's 3 different stages. They can have a rock concert in the one, and then there's they're playing hip hop music at the other, and they actually have live performances like from 3 doors down, and different bands actually perform there for free. So I would say in Vegas you must do that. And then think about so you don't only go there for the casino and the nightlife. We did a Saw escape room, which was awesome. When we first got there, welcome to the meat tour, and we're like, but we paid for escape room. I was like, escape what? What are you talking about? Until the moment we started the escape room, they said meat tour. All they were talking about was meat tour. And we were like, okay, like this. It was a super creepy building, and the inside was super creepy. We're like, because it's an industrial street, and we're like, are we gonna get murdered here? And that was the best thing I've done in Vegas. It was that Saw escape room. It looked exactly like the movies. There was props, and there was like, you stick your hand through a drain, and it actually feels like things are gonna chop your hand off. And there was actors. It was really, really awesome. So if there, I would do the strip and all these other side things as well. On our way to Fremont Street, we actually got invited to a Las Vegas themed wedding, which I would say was the coolest thing. It was for free, and it's this random New Zealand couple, and that was like, that's what Vegas is about. Just to be a part of that was amazing. And another thing that's quite cool about Vegas, in New York, the tax, like we used to food has its tax price. This is how much it costs. That's the price you pay for it. In New York, you buy stuff and you go to the till that adds the tax afterwards. So you're always shocked, but it said that much. In Las Vegas, which is pretty cool, there is no tax on food, not at all. So the food was so cheap. We were in a shop, and it was like we were loading the trolley and we had $100 with us, and we thought, okay, this is not going to be enough. And when we got there, it was only $50. I was like, what? We had like 10-liter cool drinks, we had frozen meals, we had chocolates, chips, you name it. So that is pretty cool in Las Vegas. And then in Las Vegas, be careful, nothing is for free. So like if you walk in on the strip, there's so many people handing out different flyers, and they're trying to get you to buy these different things. Nothing is for free. They would say, okay, it's 50% off what the show actually costs. It's not. Eventually you go with them and then they like add up all these different things, and it ends up being the same amount or more expensive. So they get you like that. Be very careful. And then I would say there are so many cool free things in Vegas as well. Like we saw the Bellagio fountains, which I found out YouTube does not accept the fountains and the song go together, and I recorded it, tried to put it on YouTube, and they were like, nope, this is a copyright thing. So I had to put a different song in with it. And then we had the eruption at, I think it's the Mirage, where the volcano erupts and it has a fire show, which is cool. And there's so many different things happening on the strip the whole time. Monday to Sunday, it's busy, and just walking into the different places is amazing. But I would definitely plan out better than we did. The accommodation, the transport, everything like that. Just plan it out. I think I would say best to fly over a weekend, like a Saturday or Sunday, and you'll get there in the week, which makes everything much, much cheaper. But thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks.